Pere Jacques dries out and goes from really fruity to being more like dark chocolate and almost like an intense smokiness underneath. So it just completely changes. We do a lot of horizontal tastings back at home, and we'll start doing them here too, with different vintages of beer. And I think vintage beer is something that is not quite here, but it's going to be soon, and it's going to be everywhere. There's no reason why we should look vintage to the whiskey makers and the wine makers. You know, old beer, if it's the right kind of beer, is fantastic. You know, but it's got to be the right kind. So again, I'm just absolutely thrilled to be out here. I am thrilled to have our partnership both with the Widmer Brothers and CBA. Couldn't be a better partner for us. And Matilda's here in Portland and all the AB network. You know, we got a lot of flack going into the AB network 3 years ago. 3 years later, or 5 years later, we've tripled in size, and there's more people drinking good beer than ever. And that's because you need access to good beer. And
endless.
Yes, and we like that. So thank you all very much for coming. If anybody has any questions, I will, right here, a young man in the front.
Just so you know, Chicago thinks itself Northwest, doesn't it?
Chicago thinks of itself as Northwest? Well, we're west of Northwest Indiana. Does that
count? We have more restaurants, at least according to San Francisco Chronicle, in San Francisco.
Excellent, excellent. Well, yeah, Portland is a great food town. Chicago is a great food town too. And it's great because, you know, 5 years ago I'd go into a nice restaurant and I'd say, you know, I'd love for you guys to sell my beers. And they would say, dude, your beers are awesome. I drink them all the time. I've got them in my fridge at home. But we have Heineken and Amstel. We have both kinds of beer. We're a restaurant. We sell wine. So, but now that's not the case. That's not the case. So cheers to that. Yeah. Cheers to beer at the table. Thank you.
Gabriel, and then come up and talk about.
Oh, now we got Gabriel coming up, our chef. Thanks, Gabriel.
Let's say thank you for coming down to Davis Street Tavern. These are three very exciting beers to work with, all very different characteristics. But Greg was right, the malt and acid components work well. Cheers. No, but if you notice, each beer was able to pair with the cheese very easily, very readily. The high fat content, just blend into the beer. I feel both showcase the complexity of the cheese and the beer in a way like people like to say wine would do. So that was fun to work with very much. And inspiration, since it's a Belgian style, just went with a lot of the fatty foods of the region, and a lot of the seafood of the region. So that's why you're seeing mussels, salmon, excuse me, pork belly, and the like. And we have some Grand Marnier truffles we'll be sending out that I think will go well with Pere Jacques.
Sweet.
The best. And more of that pork belly and quail egg that I hear people are enjoying.
Yeah, great.
Great job. Very good.
Any questions?
No.
Unless they're salesmen.
Fred, do you have a question for the chef?
Fred.
A question for the chef? No, the food was good.
All right. Once again, thank you all for coming down.